Welcome to the Cool FM Live Sports Show. I'm Coach Baker. I got my guy, Coach Kevin Lassiter here. We're here to get into it, man. We got some good sports. You ready to get after it?
We got a big show for you guys with a lot of sports. Definitely. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's get right into it. First, with our Seniors Helping Seniors top plays of the week.
All right, we got Arizona, Sierra Vista All-Stars versus Montana. Big shot all the way back. This was a double that put runners in the scoring position. Big hit by Kaylee Hooper here.
Nice. This is also Arizona. This is versus the Nevada boys baseball. Nice shot all the way to the wall. Standing double.
He cranked that, man. That thing was gone. All right, here we go. Arizona again versus Colorado. This is a single that turned into a RBI in the second with 2 outs up, and it padded the lead, bringing the lead up to 3 runs at the end of this.
Back to softball, Arizona. This is versus that North California. Nice RBI. Trying to start that comeback. You see the score.
Arizona versus Nevada. No, I'm sorry, versus Montana. No, this is Arizona's not Nevada. Excuse me. Tongue-tied there a little bit. A nice piece of hitting, again, scoring another run and advancing the runners on that one.
Arizona versus Colorado. You see the big lead. To add to that, it's RBI. Is that a single, double? Look like he could have got 2.
There's a good shot up the middle there that got 1 run to score there. This is, again, Arizona versus Copper City, Nevada.
Arizona versus California.
Yep. The run coming in. Here we go again. This is the Arizona team versus Northern California. See the hustle around the corner, getting around the corner at third. Not a great throw, and he makes it in the score. But look, like we might have another guy coming in. No, they hold the runners up.
Ooh.
That's a nice bunt right there.
It is, and it's
by Cerna.
Oh, that must have been an errant throw to first. That's going to bring a runner in.
And then another one.
Okay.
Got to get a little dirty.
Okay. Getting hyped up there. You know, a lot of big time plays being made right at the times when you need it the most. I've noticed Arizona's well represented in these different age groups, and Cochise County well represented.
Looking strong.
So good to see. We'll always shout out to our sponsor. Our top plays of the week are always brought to you by our presenting sponsors, Seniors Helping Seniors. If you are searching for a like-minded friend to help tackle chores and tasks, or even a companion to join you in hobbies and activities, call Seniors Helping Seniors. Their caregivers are seniors themselves and show up ready to exceed expectations on a schedule that meets your needs. Or you can make a difference by joining the Seniors Helping Seniors family. Check them out at southernarizonaSHS.com or call 520-487-4246.
And next, we're going to have the Vista Pros Heating and Cooling game recaps.
A lot of games. You saw there was a lot of highlights, so it's a lot of games. 5 games that we broadcast this week, all big-time playoff baseball and softball.
Yep, and we had teams out at locations bringing you live video, teams out in Bend, Oregon, and also out in Missoula, Montana. So let's head to the Diamond and check out these games. First game right here, we got Arizona versus Nevada. You see the nice slide to beat the throw there at third. Nice piece of hit right there and runs it out and beats the throw at first base right there. So still tied up here early in this game. We do take a 1-run lead there. That loops right over the second baseman's head, puts a runner on. Long shot. This was one of the top plays. He knocked that thing way back. It went back to the wall.
Nearly a home run.
Yeah, almost
nearly a home run.
Got a nice double out of that. There's another good piece of hitting. That one over first base. Shallow into the right field, and he's going to run it out. Yep, up easy because that throw ain't got there yet. He got a double and an RBI. Very nice. Another good hit. That ball had eyes. It tiptoed the line and stayed fair. Runner advanced to third. Now he's coming for home, and he's going to beat the throw.
There you go.
Good
now he's getting
there.
3.
And then got a triple out of that. And he's coming in. So he told him, get down. But he didn't beat the throw.
Aggressive base running though. I gotta respect it.
Nice little scoop right there by the shortstop. Doesn't beat the throw at first. Now we got our guys on defense. Nice catch made over there at third base.
That pretty much saved the game in ways.
That did.
If I saw the score right, they were up 1 run. If that drops.
Yep, that saved the day. So a big win there for Arizona's. I'm sorry, a loss for that team, but they were battling in that game, and we saw some big plays there. But unfortunately, our team did not win that game versus Nevada State champs.
Next, it was Arizona versus Colorado. This is in the boys Little League Regionals.
That's a pass ball.
Safe.
Good throw by the catcher, but couldn't beat the runner beat the tag. Got an error at third. That's going to cost you a run, guys. Like Jared likes to say, you got to make them play catch, but you got to make those catches.
Yeah.
A good hit right here. Douglas pop up. Fielder just misplayed it, and guess what? Here comes the runs. That's 1. That's 2. So Douglas representing Arizona got a nice lead right now, 6-1 here in the 4th. And guess what? These guys still churning out runs, getting around those bases. Make that 7-1. Put that hit down. They got the force at third. No, they didn't. It's going to cost them again. 9-1 now. Douglas on top. Good piece of hitting here. They don't make the play at second. They don't make the play at first. And a run just scored, 10-1. Douglas is rolling like a juggernaut here against Colorado. Another misplayed ball out there in center. And guess what? Here he comes running around the bases. Up easy, young man. 14-5 is the lead. Tried to get the throw at third.
A little wild here.
Can we call this a steal? Looks like he kind of stole home there.
Yeah.
Big win for Arizona State champs, a.k.a. Douglas. They're over Colorado in the Little League Regionals. Congratulations, boys, on that win.
Way to get that win for us, for sure.
I think that might have been the brightest spot of all the things we will see for over the weekend. Very good job by Douglas.
And it's interesting to see, like, in a regional Little League World Series game, that many mistakes on the defensive end of the North Carolina Colorado boys. But hey, got to give it up to Douglas and Arizona for capitalizing on those mistakes.
All right, next game we got is going to be, this is Arizona, i.e. Douglas, versus Northern California. Good hit right here is going to get a run score. Ties it up there, and now we're in the 4th inning. Got that ball right up the gap. He's putting on the Jets as he runs around third and scores run number 2. But as you can see now, we start trailing in the game, but that was a nice pitch there for a strikeout. Here we go, another strikeout, but we're still trailing. So we got the strikeout, pitching looking good, but the bats just weren't doing what we needed them to do. That's a nice hit right there that dropped it in between the fielders. But again, no run scored. Now we late in the game in the 7th. That's a good hit up the middle. Trying to beat the throw at home, and he makes it. Good job by the pitcher coming down the cover right there, too. That's good coaching. This one pops up. It's hanging. I think
that dropped.
Fielder doesn't make the catch. Another run score, so that brings it close.
Is when they were
trying to come back. That's right. That hit gets over short. Run number 5 will score, so it's looking real good. But unfortunately, Douglas falls 5-6 versus Northern California there in that game. So that ended Douglas's time there at the regionals. But again, congratulations, salute to Douglas, to their Little League program. Arizona State champs and represented the state very well out in Oregon over the weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah, salute. They brought the rally. Bats out. It looks like in that 7th inning, just came a little bit short, and you know that's a tough way to go out. But if you have to go out, you want to go out swinging, as they say.
Swinging, that's right,
and that's what they did. So shouts out to Douglas and representing Arizona, Little League boys.
All right, so next we go into softball. We got back-to-back games for you. Both are going to be Sierra Vista All-Stars, i.e. the Arizona State champs. Here's early in the first inning. Sierra Vista already was down, but she does beat that run, but they're already down 2-0.
Turned on the Jets there.
That's a nice hit right there by Berean Gonzalez.
Again, that's bringing in a run. Let's go.
And that's the first run of the game for Sierra Vista. But the story that kind of set up what we got here is that Sierra Vista's catcher got hurt on like the first run of the game that was scored. And so they played with their backup catcher the majority of the game, which put them in a position where they kind of were playing from behind. Pop up there by Mia Flores that the third baseman doesn't handle properly, gets her a single from that. Nice strikeout there by Gonzalez. We're getting a little later in the game now. We're here in the fifth. Good swing there by Kaylee Hooper. This made the top plays. Long double. She's going to second. And the runner advances to third, but still trailing by a lot. That's a big hit right there.
Okay.
By Broswell. Broswell was amazing in this game, by the way. She went 3 for 3. She got a hit every time she came up.
Here's the Sierra Vista rally.
State champs trying to rally late in the sixth, right? We got trouble. Broswell couldn't make it past the catcher there. Nice pitch right there by Gonzalez for a strikeout. Again, trying to hold on defensively, and we got one more at-bat coming up after this. This is our last time to get some runs. There's Gonzalez with a nice little shot right there to get a single. Again, this is them trying to fight late, but unfortunately, the rally was not successful, and the state champs fell 3-9 to the Montana state champs out of Copper City.
Yeah, still shout out for a wonderful season.
They got one more game though. Actually, they got one more game that they play that we have highlights from. So then we'll talk about the future for them. But they played twice on Sunday. So that game we just saw was yesterday, and then they have another game on yesterday. The first game we broadcasted for you here 7 a.m. local time. So it was a very early game. I think that might have affected the girls' rhythm because we don't usually play softball that early here in Arizona, but they did. They might have threw some things off. But let's go to game number.
The catcher got hurt too.
The catcher got hurt too. So they playing with their backup catcher, and the backup did as good as she could, but remember that's not her primary position, so that's going to affect how things happen. But we got game number 2 from yesterday coming for you. This is going to be the 1:00 game that is Arizona versus Northern California. Had a very, very rough start to this game. You can see by the third, we're already down 9-0. But that's Gonzalez again with a nice long hit in the left center, and she gets herself a double out of it.
Is Gonzalez a possible Player of the Week
Definitely.
nominee?
I like to call her the queen of triples because she had 3 triples in her games last weekend in the state championship. That's a good hit right there by Madison Forsberg to get herself a single out of that. Nice cut there by Kenzie Forsberg and a run score, so that's an RBI for her. Safe at the plate. She beats the throw. There's Gonzalez again, getting the ball up the middle. Gonzalez played very well over this weekend, and the slide and the score there. I think that was Broswell that just scored. Cerner lays down the bunt. Third base makes the play, but she throws it high. She fielded it very well, but threw it high. And Cerner's going to second base now, and that's 2 more runs that come in. She turned the bunt into a triple, folks. Boom, nice piece of hit here late in the 5th. Third base can't hold on to it. That's going to cost you some extra bases. And it does, as she gets a double out of that. Again, trying to get the rally going here late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing the bats out.
They got close,
They got the bats out.
Another run scores. The score is 8-12, but unfortunately, that's as close as they could get it, was 8-12. Later on in the 7th, some bad things happened, and Northern California extended their lead by a couple more runs. So now here on our final time up, we're trailing by 10 runs, and eventually we ended up falling in that game 18-9, I believe, was the final score. Unfortunately, we had a couple times where we hit into double plays, and it ended what looked like some promising rallies really soon due to double plays. Put 2 outs changes everything.
Yeah.
But again, we'll talk more about this team, but I'll say this much without spoiling anything: the girls aren't coming home yet.
Okay.
We'll talk about when they play and what's going to happen.
I would say even in that game, you have to think, what if they didn't have that first inning, giving up 9 runs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not really sure what was going on there. You know, sometimes it just happens where either the pitcher's just cold or the other team is just hot.
Right.
And it could be some errors. It could be great base running. It could be a lot of things. But from that point on, the Sierra Vista All-Star, or, you know, the team represented by, you know, Arizona was played pretty even, and maybe even winning that game if not for that big first inning. So shout out to them, and like you said, more to come. And
we're praying that Aaliyah, who's a starting catcher, that she heals up from whatever injury she has, and that she's able to continue playing forward with the team. So this was the game recaps was brought to you by Vista Pros Heating and Cooling. Just like your favorite teams, they believe in preparation, performance, and showing up for their community. Vista Pros, local, reliable, professional, and putting the cool in Cool FM.
Yes. Next, as far as other games are concerned, I know I'll talk a little bit about on the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
There's still summer basketball going on. AZ Prep Academy, which is a basketball club team, primarily made up of Buena High School basketball players. You know, I'm coaching Buena basketball. So we took the team to Las Vegas this last weekend and played in the Las Vegas Classic, which is a big basketball tournament for the high school. And there was over 600 teams there.
Wow.
Some of the best teams in the country, some of the best players across the country. And the Sierra Vista boys held their own. They went 2-2 for the weekend. We had an unfortunate injury to one of our key players, Stephen Wambach, early in the tournament, but the team was able to still battle through. I'll talk a little bit more about that later when we highlight a player or two. But yeah, went 2-2 in Las Vegas, something to be proud of, and came back home a little bit more experienced and ready to play in Cochise County.
If you go out to places like that where you're playing in tournaments with, you know, some of the biggest names in the country, and your team does well, it shows you who you are. Whether you do well or not, you learn about who you are.
Yeah.
And if you can go out there and perform high there, just imagine how much better the boys are going to be when they playing against their local, you know, 5A talent. So I'm really looking forward to this season. Congratulations, coach, and congratulations, players. Great job representing the school and our town out in Las Vegas.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sure. Also, you were talking about the softball girls.
That's right.
How they're not finished.
That's right. Sierra Vista All-Stars, i.e. the Arizona State champs. So they are not done yet, folks. They're not coming home yet. The games that got played yesterday were like pool plays to set up, bracket play. The top 6 teams from yesterday's games all advanced to the next round of the regionals. And so our team is a part of that group. So they will be playing versus Montana again. That's the same team they played early Sunday morning. The Sierra Vista All-Stars, i.e. the Arizona State champions, on the diamond tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. versus Copper City, Montana. And that game will be broadcast on Cool FM Live. So tune in to support our team. Please cheer for the girls. We want to see them go out and play well. And we're praying for a win.
Good luck, girls. Go get it. So next, we have our Berean Academy Player of the Week. And actually, before we even get into the nominees for this week's Player of the Week award, let's talk about some of the winners of last week.
So
Player of the Week award.
We owe you guys some news, right? Because we had to give you updates from all the polls that we put out. So we're going to give you the names of the winners for the last 3 polls. So we're going to go all the way back to July 5th. The winner of that Player of the Week poll was my guy, Vladimir Heat 'em Up Hurtado. Douglas pitcher. He's the Player of the Week for the week of July 5th. The week of July 12th is going to be Callie Larson. And we've been seeing her play a lot. So, yeah, Callie Larson, Player of the Week there. And then last week's, our most recent winner is Derek Vasquez. So congratulations to all 3 of those athletes. Those athletes, along with whatever player wins this week's poll, are all going to be put into the poll for the Player of the Month. And that'll be broadcast to the Cool FM main page for that poll to take place after this week's poll is complete.
Awesome. Great explanation. Thanks for breaking that down for us. And remember, folks, your votes are what determine who the Player of the Week are, not their stats or anything like that. We'll say the player name, where they're from, and some of their stats just to kind of show why we nominated this particular athlete. But it's going to come up to you, the votes of the people out there, that's going to determine who actually wins the award, Player of the Week, and then eventually the Player of the Month award. So we'll get in right to it. I have a few. I mean, we both have a few, mostly from the baseball and softball diamond, but I'll start with Berean Gonzalez. You called her name a lot on that highlight. Yeah. She seemed to be one of the main driving forces of that offense. She went 3 for 4 from the plate and also had 5 strikeouts. She's doing double action here, pitching and hitting and keeping the girls alive. So that's one of our nominees. Berean, and maybe Braylin. We got to make sure we know how to pronounce that. Maybe somebody can help us in the comments.
I call it the queen of triples. Because remember, a couple weeks ago, she hit 3 triples in one game. Now, I know that was the past, but what she just did this week was still impressive. And coming in as a relief pitcher, and I want to say in 2 innings, she got 5 strikeouts. In her very first inning pitching in that first game yesterday, she got 3. And then she went 3 for 4 in the first game, and I think she had 3 hits in the second game as well. So she was on fire this weekend. Lights out. Awesome job. Speaking of softball, we got another softball player that we like to recommend as a Player of the Week, and that's Ayla Broswell, also of the Sierra Vista All-Stars. She went 3 for 3 in the morning game yesterday versus Copper City, the Montana State champs. So we like to recommend her for her great performance in helping the team try to fight back and stay in that game. Hitting more hits than you strike out or get out in baseball, softball is a big deal. And it's not easy to get up there and get a plate. Remember, people that are about a 2/3 average get into the Hall of Fame in these sports. So to go 3 for 3 and be 100%, it's outstanding. So great job, Miss Broswell.
Absolutely. And what I always key on is when and where you do these things.
There you go.
And to be in the World Series for your age division and to go 3 for 3, hit everything coming your way. That just holds a lot of value in my eyes. So shout out to her and all of these athletes right now, because they're all playing for big things right now.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of that, I talked about the big things earlier with our local basketball team going to Las Vegas, playing in that tournament. I'd give another shout out to my guy, Marlon MJ Humes, who actually was nominated last week for Player of the Week because he shot 95% or 95 out of 100 free throws, like you said.
Unworldly, man.
Like you said about Berean. That's in the past, so we're not going to – I'll bring it up, but only to set this up. But we talked about the team playing well in Las Vegas. MJ was a leader for our team. We lost Stephen Wambach to injury early in our first game, and MJ really stepped up. He led us in points throughout the tournament, averaging about 17 points a game, and was just really good throughout. Was really helped lead us on the court offensively and defensively. So shout out to MJ.
The future is bright for Buena High School basketball. MJ Humes, a rising junior this year, right? And so the future is bright. When you got players, you got horses like that in the stable, you're going to be all right, Coach.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, and rounding out our Player of the Week nominations, we got J.P. Montano out of Douglas, the pitcher from Douglas, 6 strikeouts in their game versus Northern California. So, again, like Coach said earlier, we had softball and baseball teams representing the state, their towns, and our county very well at some of the highest levels of Little League sports. And we want to congratulate all 4 of these athletes for being recommended. We had people representing our area outside of the state. They weren't playing here. Everybody played away from Sierra Vista. They weren't in the warm confines of Cochise County, and everybody showed up and showed out. So congrats to all these athletes. We'll put the names in a poll for you, and we will get that poll posted. You can vote. Voting will be open for the remainder of the week. And then the winner will be added to that lineup to be voted for Player of the Month.
Absolutely. Good luck to all the athletes. This week's Player of the Week was brought to you by Berean Academy of Sierra Vista. Get ready for nonstop highlights, bold predictions, and everything you love about the game.
All right, next we're going to have a Prestige and Remodeling football preview. So we had the pleasure of having an interview here with, again, another one of our head coaches. We had Coach BRADEN Davis come in from the St. David Tigers. So check out this interview. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. This is another one of our football previews. I have the pleasure of having Coach BRADEN Davis, head coach of the St. David Tigers, here with us this afternoon. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you.
Great to have you on. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Tell us and our audience a little bit about your background as coaching, and even talk about playing if you like to.
Well, I can talk about playing. It won't take very long because I didn't play very much.
Okay.
I'm definitely from a football family. My father, a longtime coach, he's in the Arizona Coaches Hall of Fame. He coached at 11, 8 levels. I mean, he back and forth throughout his career. I never grew up playing a whole lot of football. I was a baseball player and a guitar player and a saxophone player. I wasn't really a football player. I played 1 year of high school football, but I always loved the game. I always loved it. My brother played. He played a little college ball. I really got into it helping my dad after he retired. He was in this area, and they asked him to coach Pop Warner Benson youth team. That I had a couple of nephews that a couple of his grandsons were on the team, and he asked me to come and help him. And I go, this is cool. And I'm a school psychologist by occupation.
Oh, interesting.
And I saw, hey, this is kind of what I'm trying to do anyway, and it kind of feeds that competitive spirit that I have, the competitiveness in me, and it feeds that. And also it's all about the kids and building them up and building relationships and helping them become better people. And I helped him for a couple of years. My son was about probably 4 or 5 years old at the time, and he was tagging along and it was part of his life from the get-go, right from then. Then I helped my brother, who was coaching at St. David High School. He was the head coach at the time, and I went from doing his stats to eventually to being his OC and just trying to learn as I went along. And then when he stopped, and I took over as a head coach, and so this is going in my 10th year.
Oh, wow.
I try to every year. I try to get better, get smarter, get better at this whole thing, because it's just been a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun, and but that's my background. It's just been, it really is from a football family, but not really playing much myself.
Well, playing is not a prerequisite to coach.
Ask Jed Fish, right? Jed Fish.
I mean, and we were watching a youth softball game right before we started this interview, and I could definitely tell, like me, bit by the coach's bug. We analyze things, we look at things differently. And I played a little softball, but not much of it. But you see what you see, and as a coach, you always make adjustments in your mind of what you would do in a situation, things like that.
Right.
Uh-huh. So last year, 7-2 season. You guys were road warriors, had a lot of road wins.
Yeah.
And I thought that was something that's pretty noteworthy. But as a 1A 8-man football program, what are some of the unique challenges that you face as a coach in that conference and coaching in 8-man football?
Well, that's a great question. 8-man is, as you know, more spread out. The math, as our players will say, it's simple geometry. The math tells us it's more like 3-on-3 full court basketball. So there's a lot of space. Even though the 8-man field is narrower, there's a lot of space. So that presents a lot of challenges. You have to have a lot of hybrid type players, probably more so, well, definitely more so than you would have an 11-man. And defense is really hard.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of those high scoring games in 8-man. It's a lot easier to score points in 8-man. And then when you're translating it from 11-man, things don't always translate really well. But, we go to conferences and watch games, and I'm always thinking, can I 8-man this? Can I make this into an 8-man play or an 8-man concept? And so that's a challenge, but it's also a lot of fun. But a 20-point game is still pretty close in an 8-man football, especially, like at halftime or something. But yeah, that's a challenge. I think we have an additional challenge in Arizona because as we're starting to lose some teams, not being able to field teams, and I'm hoping we're not seeing the writing on the wall of this going to be something that's going to push 8-man out, and we won't have it anymore. I know we've talked about it through the coaches, the coaches fraternity. So with the eight and the 1A level is, what are we going to do? What does it look like coming up? And I think that's a pretty big challenge. And it would be sad if we lost it, I think.
I agree with you. I think it's something special and unique about it. And speaking of that, I'll kind of jump ahead to a different question.
That was a good lead-in, yeah.
It was a very good lead-in. So, speaking of losing 8-man teams, news recently came out about Valley Union not competing as a varsity program this year.
Yeah.
They were one of your scheduled opponents, was supposed to be your second game of the season.
First game.
Oh, sorry, first game of the season. So have you guys replaced them as an opponent? If so, who are you going to be playing? And
yes,
how's that going to go?
We're scheduled to play Kearney Ray. Okay. And Ray is a very good team. They're maybe arguably the most improved 1A team in the state. There should be a really good test for us, a really solid game right out of the gate, well coached. Really, we're sad that Valley Union, they were our traditional rival.
Right.
That's where my father ended his career. That's where my brother played his last 2 years of high school football, was at Valley Union. I have a special place in my heart for them, even though they're rivals and we always want to beat them, but they're still, it's sad. And I know their population, their student body is depleted. It's not nearly. That wasn't too long ago when they were a 2A team.
Right.
So we're sad about that. We're happy that they're still playing some JV football. So we'll hopefully get a couple of JV games with them. But it's sad. But we were able to replace that game in week 1, and that was thanks to I got to hats off to our AD and George. I can't remember his last name. He's the AD at Baghdad, Kyle Merrill, our AD in St. David, and able to figure out a game and fill in a spot, because we also had another 8-man team in the north that canceled on us very late this year. That's El Capitan.
Okay.
So north was missing some games and the south was missing some games. So they got when those dominoes fall, it's really difficult.
Right, because it affects multiple teams in the conferences, right?
Mm-hmm. So we were pleased that we got a good quality game in that place. Yeah.
Great work by the athletic directors by being quick to act and to try to fill those gaps in the schedule, because you want your team to have a full schedule every season, obviously, right?
Absolutely. And 8-man typically we have 8 scheduled and with one off week, and we always try to even schedule that off week. For whatever reason, the AIA doesn't give us 10 like they do with the 2A and above, but so we try to get every one of them. And we try to fill we try to fill our freedom games with quality opponents, right. Which is one of the reasons why we're playing a Colorado team this year. So
that's going to be, and what team is that, Coach?
Mancos, Colorado. It's in the southern part of the state near Cortez. And they're a really strong team from Colorado. Has traditionally been a real tough team, and I reached out about a year ago, and they were, let's do it. So the plan is we're going to go there this year. They're going to come here next year.
A little home and home setup.
Yeah.
Very nice. So nice to see that even at the 1A level, at the 8-man level, you guys are reaching out and doing home and home just like they do at the college football level. That's pretty good advanced work there. So besides this Colorado opponent and the schedule changes, what is there anything new that we should be looking for from the St. David Tigers going into this 2026 season?
Other than, we lost a lot of talented seniors from last year. We retained most of our linemen, so our line is a strength of our team right now, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We did lose a lot of skill guys, a quarterback, a couple of running backs, but we're hoping that the little brothers can fill those shoes. You probably, it
is great to see family names on the roster. That's pretty cool.
It's great to be a coach to see those family names come up too. So, so we're hoping that we can fill those roles that they left and kind of reload and continue with our success and can continue battling for a state championship. Yeah.
Shout out to Cedar Haney. It's going to be tough calling highlights out, not saying your name this season. We looked at the roster earlier. We talked about it a bit before the show. You have 7 seniors on the roster. How significant is that to your program, having 7 seniors?
That's always awesome, especially guys who can play and guys who have played before. So that's definitely that's a big advantage. We lost some really solid seniors, but we have these guys coming back and they can all play, and it's It's always nice because they're natural leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they know what to expect. They know what we're about. You know, that we play for St. David. They know what that's about and the traditions, and so it's awesome to have that. Yeah.
Are there any particular seniors that you'd like to kind of name, or any other players that you think are going to stand out or have kind of significant impacts this year?
Yeah, yes, sir. All of them. Like I mentioned, our line led by our center Connor Posey, who's a very athletic center. Mm-hmm. And on a lot of teams, he would probably be playing other positions, but he's really a solid athlete for us. Either side of him, we have Champ Pacheco, the last of the Pacheco brothers, and also Luke Gorman, who started for us last year as well. Caden Parkinson has been filling in time at line, can also play center, and then our tight end is Keston Richardson, who's a returner. He's about a 3-year starter, and big 6'4", 6'5" guy, about 210. Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah, he's got the best hands on the team probably too. So our line, looking at with 8-man level, we typically play with at least one tight end. We do. There's a lot of teams that don't, but so looking at those guys to really lead. We have Todd Pacheco moving from the line into the backfield this year, is the older brother of Champ, the younger brother of Chase from last year, who was a running back for us and really solid linebacker. And so Todd battled some significant injuries near the end of the last year, but he's healthy, and we're hoping that he's going to do what he can do. He's a very strong, fast kid.
Looking forward to seeing that. So something that we've noticed from some of the other teams out here in Cochise County, the offensive lines, some of them have been given nicknames from their coaches. Is that something that you've employed out at St. David?
They started, our line coach started last year calling them the Big Sexies. And so I said, hey, he asked me, is that okay? I said, hey, that's okay. We've always... Since I've been at St. David, we've always had it a rule: is the linemen eat first, the linemen get their water first. I said, you got to water the horses first.
That's right.
Something I learned from my dad. I mean, you got to water the horses first. They've been packing you all day. You got to water them first. That's what we do. We want to take care of our linemen. We are also some guys at senior. I had mentioned yet is Emmett Eder, who's kind of been a Swiss Army knife for us the last few years. He's just a strong, hard-working kid who's played corner for us last year, had to fill in at defensive end sometimes, kind of one of those hybrid players. Mm-hmm. Again, a guy that's going to really contribute greatly to us this year. And also Logan Flake, who played was a first-year starter last year at end and safety, and led our team in interceptions, and so we're glad to have him back as well. So I always, when I'm talking, I'm sure I'll forget
another
somebody,
one always pops in, right?
Always pops up. Yeah.
Feel free if you need to cut me off later on to shout out one of your guys. Feel free to do it because it's all about the players at the end.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And I love the concept of making sure the linemen have a special place on the team. It's a position that unsung but very heroic. As I like to say, linemen are important because quarterbacks need heroes too.
Yeah.
And so it's great to hear that you guys are making sure that the linemen are recognized for the importance of the team. And I like hearing that the line is the strength of a team because that's where it all starts.
Absolutely. My father used to call them the strength, the point of the spear, right?
That's right.
And so we've always had that where they're the first in line for our food, for our meals. They're if I see a back hogging the water without giving his linemen some water, they get in trouble.
Yeah,
it's going to be a problem. Right. Yeah.
So, Coach, first time asking this question I'm going to ask to any of the coaches we interview, but I thought it was more important that I ask it to you guys first.
Okay.
And so this question is, what makes St. David, Arizona a special place to play, coach, and watch a football game?
It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. St. David is it's a cool place. I mean, it's really, you've probably been through there. Blinked, you might visit, but it's a nice little oasis on the San Pedro River when it's a river. But there's a lot of tradition there. A lot of families have been there for a long time. Mm-hmm. I've lived there for about 25 years, and it's close to these communities like Sierra Vista and Tucson. But it's a special place where I've got kids whose grandkids or whose grandfathers played on that field, whose parents played on that field. There's a lot of tradition there that you don't see, I think, in other communities, where there's maybe more transient and things. So I think that's one of the reasons it makes it really special. And on Friday night we're the only show in town, really. So it's a good place for people to come out. We usually have a lot of fans supporting us and traveling with us. So it's been a joy, really, to coach those kids there and to work with those families there, because it's a great place to be. It's kind of a catch-22, because you can kind of roll up and set up your lawn chair at the side of the field, but it's sometimes like, can you get a little farther back?
Right. It gives a little room to work.
Yeah. But it's still one of those places where it feels like a small town. It feels like small town America when you come to a Friday night in St. David and in the fall, and hopefully we're putting a lot of points on the scoreboard, making it exciting.
I can tell you that was one of the things that was very cool about recapping and calling some of the games last year. Just scores, action. It wasn't 3 yards in a cloud of dust. The ball was being thrown. You guys run to the outside, big hits and pancakes in the middle. Very exciting football.
Hey, it's physical. It's football, and it sometimes it's since there's a lot of one-on-one tackling. You got a lot of. It's pretty physical. We pride ourselves in being very physical too.
So, Coach, before we wrap this up, is there anything else messages you want to send to your team, or any special message you want to give to the St. David fans, or just to the rest of Southern Arizona and the football community down here?
Invite everybody to come out and watch an 8-man football game. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of people haven't seen what it's like. It's a lot of fun, so come out and watch. Our motto this year is fast, focused, and fearless. And so we want to play. We're a little bit smaller in number than we've been in the past, and so I wanted to simplify things on both sides of the ball this year to make it a little easier to play fast. We'll have more guys playing both ways. We've got a lot of good freshmen, really talented freshmen coming in that a lot of them are going to see playing time on the varsity field. And we'll also have obviously as many JV games as we can get. We have the challenge is, not having a lot of guys. You can only play, any one kid can only play in 50% more of the game, the same as the 2A level, than your total varsity regular season games. And so we can't schedule too many because we can't fill them, but we want to schedule as many as we can. Our players they're working hard. I got our guy that looks like who's probably working toward being our QB1 quarterback is a converted running back, Grant Haymore. Okay. He's just a tough kid. We lost a really talented quarterback last year, as you probably know. It's at Tombstone now, and I'm wishing him the best of luck because they're great friends of ours. And,
right.
And my son's coaching at Tombstone as well right now with Coach Chick, and so Coach Chick coached with us.
That's
and so we're wishing him the best of luck and everything, and we're hoping success for. I like coaching fraternity is pretty small. We have some. That's been a really a cool thing seeing is how it over the 10 years as these guys spreading out and getting jobs here and there, and just really trying to continue the building of young people, not just young men, but also we every now and then we'll get a girl that plays football too, so we love that.
Everybody can play, right?
Everybody can play.
Right. Coach, I want to. Oh, sorry. Anything else you want to add?
We've got just a lot of talented kids that are battling for spots right now, and nothing's set in stone. So we're starting bright and early tomorrow morning with our Tiger Camp, and so we'll be this is the exciting time right now.
Yep. I'm glad we were able to get this interview in today so that we don't interfere with your camp tomorrow. And it is a very exciting time. We had 7-on-7 going on a couple weeks ago, and now all the teams are kind of focusing into, hey, look, we're going into the season, we're locking in, we're getting real serious, and it's time to play some football. We're excited about it here at Cool FM Sports.
Me too, and I do have to say I got a shout out to thank you for my wife for letting me be. This is our anniversary today. So
happy anniversary. Thank you very much, Mrs. Davis. We appreciate it.
She's been so super supportive and has filmed our games for 10 years plus. I think she started before I was a head coach, and so it's been really nice. Yeah.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on today. As you heard, the 2026 St. David Tigers, fast, focused, and fearless football. Thanks a lot. This is Kevin Lassiter here. Thanks a lot again, Coach, and we appreciate it. And go Tigers.
Hey, thank you, Kevin.
We want to thank Coach Davis again for coming on to the show. It was a pleasure to have you, and good luck to the Tigers in this upcoming season. And the football preview was brought to you by Prestige Remodeling and Restoration LLC of Sierra Vista. They have a visionary approach that empowers exceptional service, reinvigorating the fundamental principles of customer-centric service. As a licensed general contractor, including plumbing and electrical, they proudly cater to both commercial and residential needs. Visit them at prestigesierravista.com.
And next, we'll have our Seniors Helping Seniors buzzer beater. All right, so it's all on you, Kev. You're gonna have to beat the buzzer and break down all of the world of sports for us.
I gotta be like a player that's trying to hit a home in the park home run. I gotta touch them all,
touch all bases,
real
brother.
quick. All right, so here we go. NFL training camps are starting. All right, and big news out of training camp for the Arizona Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett just signed his deal to be the Cardinal starting quarterback. So the hold-in is over. Next, NCAA football is gearing up. We got a big rivalry game coming up between Alabama and LSU on November 7th. And Michigan's athletic director just stepped down. So big stuff. Going to MLB, the trade deadline is proposing, it's coming up. But another big thing that's going on in baseball is that game attendance is up. 1.1% more people have been watching and attending baseball games. And then last piece of news, and probably the biggest one in the sports world, the NBA offseason is buzzing because LeBron James just made another decision. He has decided to join the Philadelphia 76ers. He's taking his talents to the city of brotherly love. Coach, I'm sure you got some thoughts on that, right?
A couple. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear LeBron sign him somewhere. What? I think to me that was the biggest news, like you said. Yeah. I touch on a few of those things that you would say, but LeBron James was the biggest. So I think more people have an opinion on it. Whether good, bad, that's just kind of the nature of LeBron James since he's been in the NBA. But I think that the move to go to Philly gives him the best chance to win a championship because that team really looks like they're stacked.
Yeah, they loaded. And you can tell he wants to go out on top, wants to go out as a winner. But it was interesting to see that normally this time of year, the NBA has already done its schedule announcement. But they held on to the announcement because they were waiting to see where LeBron James was going to sign. And that was much to the chagrin of the commissioner who wanted to get this thing kind of wrapped up and pushed out there. Yeah. But so that means now Christmas Day, we should be seeing a Lakers versus Sixers matchup as the marquee game on Christmas Day, right?
I love it. I'm a basketball fan. I'm a LeBron fan, but I'm just a basketball fan in general. I'm not someone that is all the way a LeBron fan where I'm just going to be like a hardcore Sixers fan now and just go to whatever team he's on, and that's my favorite team. But I know a lot of people are like that, and that kind of leads to why some other people don't like him and don't like the team jumping and all of that. So it makes for good Hollywood entertainment to see Philly versus Lakers. To me, as just a basketball fan of it, I like that matchup because I think back to Iverson and Kobe.
There you go.
And when they met. Excuse
Bless
me.
you. Bless you again.
Excuse me.
Two sneezes for two big names. That's what that was.
Shaq and Kobe. That's what that was. But no, I remember rooting for Philadelphia at that time just because they were the underdog and all that. And that was
the finals where we got the Ty Lue step over.
The step over, right? So, I'm sure clips of that will probably resurface around that Christmas Day game and stuff like that. But huge news for the basketball world because I think Philadelphia is such a sports town.
Oh, definitely.
All sports town. So to me, it's fitting that they would get a LeBron James at some point.
And the good thing is if you're a person like me who can always detect when the bandwagon starts rolling, I know who all the Philly fans are already. I know all the Sixers fans, and I know who the bandwagons are.
Yeah, right. It's not even, I think they have a new word for it because there's bandwagon fans that typically go for whatever team is good, whatever team is hot. And there's manwagon fans who you hitch your wagon on one guy and wherever he's at. And I think that's kind of the modern era of sports fandom. When I say fandom, I mean I think it's a little bit old school at this point to be a fan of the team that you live in or the city that you live in. Most of us are that way, but I think that more and more because of social media and player personalities and players have big fan bases.
Yeah.
And those fan bases aren't just linked to that city that they play in. So, you know, you have guys like, what's Ball, the one that, LaMelo,
yep.
Ball, who he had millions of Instagram and social media followers before he was even, when he was in high school.
Before he was even a pro.
So you got to think when he went to the Hornets and he has this huge fan, how many of those are really Hornets fans?
Good question.
You know,
now that he's gone.
And now he's gone.
Are they
like,
going
do you
with him?
lose your fans? I think about that. And when you're LeBron James playing as long as he had, at the level as long as he has, he's gonna get accumulate a large number of fans that are like, look, man, I don't care what team you play on. I love watching this, or I love watching him play. Or
I guess my final thoughts on this are going to be if players can be free agents, maybe fans can be too.
I love it. Yes, well, they have been. We have been forever. Like, you know, so that's just how it goes.
And last part of our show coming up, we're going to have our Seniors Helping Seniors Sports Trivia.
All right. We get
one question this week, right?
One question. I'll just type my answer in here. I need to get all of these. I've been gone. I need to play catch
you got
up.
it wrong. You've been busy. You know? That's all
I've been gone. I got to play catch up. Throw me a lob.
We get one shot this week, folks. That's all we got.
Throw me a lob, Cody.
All right, we got an NFL question. In the last 5 years, which 4 NFL teams have missed the playoffs every year? I know one.
Years missed.
My son gonna be mad when I call his team out.
Uh-oh.
Actually, I know 2. I think I got 3 because they ain't been in a long time. And what's the 4th? Oh, yeah. I might have all of these. Oh, it could be one more. It's 4 teams, right?
We got to think of like
I'm gonna put this team. You
got to think of really bad teams.
I think my first 4 choices are it. I think.
All right.
My last choice, me being a little bit petty, but I think I got 4.
All right, one more, and I don't think it's.
All right, so Cody is saying that time is up.
Okay.
So you want me to get my answers first, or you want to go first?
I got Giants, Jets, Jags, and Browns. I think I might have got one at least.
I got the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Saints, and sorry guys, the Cardinals. And another possible if we play spades would have been the Las Vegas Raiders, but I think the Raiders might be off. But I think those first 4, I feel good about the first 4. Let's see.
I got Saints, I got Jets.
Okay, I forgot about the Jets.
You got
That's
Falcons.
Right. Okay, I got 2. So I got Saints and Falcons.
I got 1.
The Cardinals made the playoffs in the last 5 years? Okay, well, we can be wrong sometimes. At least I got 2.
I'm wondering, when did the Giants make it last?
It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit.
Right.
I mean, they've been through a couple coaches, too. That's why they keep getting new coaches and high draft picks.
Right.
So
you usually don't get a new coach if you're a playoff team, usually.
Speaking of new coaches and them, I'm sorry, guys. I got to do it. I'm a Ravens fan. And, John Harbaugh, did you see the video of him talking to the Giants and nobody looking impressed by him talking?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man, you guys, it's like the most awkward coaches meeting, coaches
with players, or
yes,
with...
he's sitting there like, "Hey guys, don't you feel special? I mean, we're the New York Giants, and the team is like crickets. Like, we don't care, coach. We don't care." So, good luck, coach. Let's see what you can do.
Obviously, he must have a prestigious memory of the Giants that the players just do not share with him.
Historically speaking, it's a 100-year football club. They've been playing football. They've been a football club for 100 years. So, I mean, I get that part of it. But, yeah, the players don't share it. They have not bought in, and maybe they don't know the legacy of the team. It's a very young team, so maybe they don't know the history of their football club. But get the vets in there. Bring LT in there. He'll fire them up, make them all learn real quick. Yeah. Get LT in there.
I don't want that because I'm a Cowboys fan. I understand.
Well, folks, we want to thank you for tuning in. This week's show was brought to you by our sponsors, Senior Helping Seniors, and with our supporting sponsors, Vista Pros Heating and Cooling, Prestige Remodeling and Restoration, Berean Academy. These folks are all great supporters of local athletes. They do a great job by helping us bring all our sports coverage and our wrap-up shows to you for free. So please check them out and recommend them to your friends and family. Before we sign off, Coach, you got any final thoughts?
No, just touching base to double down on the sponsor support and love. You got to love how great it was to have so many teams and players represented from our county playing out of state, out of the city, not just out of city, but out of state and stuff, and still being able to bring coverage of those games. And a lot of that is because of the sponsors. So shout out.
Last thing I want to remind everybody of, I think we still got a couple days before this happens, the sports physical event at Buena High School. That's this week, right?
Yes. I'm trying to remember the exact date, but yeah, free sports physicals. I know we shared it on our Cool FM sports page. We'll go ahead and share that again to make sure that gets out there. So for all the young athletes and parents out there that are taking care of these athletes and making sure this kind of documentation and stuff gets done, take advantage of the free resources out there, because I know Buena High School is having their free sports physical this week, and I think there was another school too. I want to say Douglas or Wilcox, one of the schools in Cochise County.
We got 2 days, July 31st and July 30th. At Buena High School from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's at Buena High School, and it's open to students both in the district and out of the district. If you got a kid that plays any type of sport or needs a sports physical, go there. It's free $99, best price you could ask for.
Not just for Buena athletes.
Yeah, for every athlete, and that's all age ranges, all schools, no matter where you live. Go down there, and that's being provided for free. So please, kids have to be accompanied by a parent and guardians, and please have the forms filled out in advance. So that's the reminder we got. I think that about wraps it up, right?
I guess that's it.
So on behalf of Cody, our producer here in the studio, Coach Baker, I'm Kevin Lassiter. Thanks for tuning in with us. Thanks for watching. Have a great